Three, two, one.
Yo, welcome to another edition of Walker's Waves, Walker's Way Wave Training. This is the man here, and today I'm going to go over how to get rid of forks. Now, this is an interesting subject because I get a lot of questions from waivers. They ask, how do I close my crown? How do I bring all my waves together? And how do I eliminate forks? So first of all, to talk about forks, we're going to go over what a fork is. What is a fork? Okay, a fork is a separation in your hair that shows off your scalp. So as waivers, we're doing a hair design that we're concentrating on showing ripples of our curls, wave and flow in a pattern, and we want people to see our curls. And we want people to see our curls form into waves. We don't want people to see our scalp because we're using our hair as art to cover up our scalp. So showing of the scalp during any wave pattern or wave style is not going to be good. So I'm going to go over how to eliminate forks. Well, not totally eliminate them because we're all going to have forks, but this will help you totally eliminate it. Now, the first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a comb. Okay. Now, I know you've heard a lot of sayings about the brush. Yes, the brush gives you waves, but the brush is not going to fix forks. I repeat, let me go and say that again. The brush will give you waves. The brush is not going to fix forks. So you will need to start adding combing to your sessions to fix some forks. Now, first thing that you're going to do is that you're going to go to your biggest fork. And our biggest fork should be our crown. That's the biggest showing part of your scalp is our crown right there. Okay, we have to start there because that's where the foundation starts. So as we go to the crown, what we're going to want to do is that we want to use the comb and comb through the crown. We're not really going to go with the pattern yet. We're going to comb through it. So you just want to go straight, but you want to start at the crown. Go straight, 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 straight. And as we get to the side of the crown, we want to come and cut the crown, come to the side. What we're doing right now, go to the back of the crown, come straight down. What we're doing right now is we're separating the crown and making sure that our crown is properly set. Because if the crown is not set, you're just setting yourself up for more forks during a brush session. Because you may think you're brushing your hair in the right direction, and you might not be brushing it in the right direction. And not brushing your hair in the right direction can cause forks. So once we identify where our crown is at, okay, and once we have a pretty good set pattern on how our crown is going to go, see, that's the only fork that you should have. You only want this fork right there. All waivers just want one fork, and that's the crown. That's it. And if you can close the crown, and we'll get to that on another video, if you can close it, that'll be even more great. But right now, we're going to concentrate on taking care of the little nick forks. Okay, now, our hair is totally combed out. Now what this is doing is that it's taking the hair off of the scalp. Okay, now our hair is lifted off of the scalp. Now what you want to do now is that you want to get a hard brush. You want to get something hard. You can use a medium, but I prefer hard, especially for coarse hair wavers. Then with the hard brush, you just want to start at the crown, and you want to make sure we're brushing in the right direction. Okay? You see what happens if I'm brushing in the wrong direction? You see? Y'all see that right there? See that little line right there? That's a fork. So that's a really big fork. So you can get a lot of little small forks just from not paying attention to your pattern. That's why it's so important to start with that crown and to make sure that your crown is flowing around the right way. Because if it's not, we're going to get forks every time we brush our hair. So once we get that out of the way, we're going to brush, brush, brush. Brush, brush, brush. All the way around. Around the crown. We don't brush through our crown. We comb through our crown. I prefer brushing around the crown. Once your pattern seems pretty laid, next thing that you want to do is that you're going to get a bag. Where's my bag? We're going to get a bag. Yep. We're going to get this bag here. We're going to start laying down our hair. Now, why am I doing this now? Well, the bag magnates the little small hairs that might stick up or that might not have been laid down from the brush, from our brush session. And it's really important before you do-rag, you don't have any visible looking forks. Okay? If a fork happens underneath the do-rag, there's not much that you can do about that except for repeat what I'm just showed you right now to eliminate them. But at least you can do-rag up without a fork so it doesn't make the fork more permanent. Okay? This is why I use the bag, and I'm telling all of my wavers who are trying to spin Elite to go to the bag in between brush sessions. Bag is not only for the end of the session, it's between the sessions too. So you need to understand so you can see maybe if you're brushing right or if we're brushing wrong. So if we don't see any forks and everything seems to be flowing right, then we know that we're brushing in the right direction. If we see a fork, then we know we have to work a little bit more. And I see a fork right there on my left hand side, so I know I have to work more on my left hand side. And you can like kind of calculate and have this in your mind next time you go on a brush session, you know, to start more on that side. So that's what the bag does. The bag is going to identify your weaknesses around your hair and crown to show you where you need to work more. Because like I said, our hair is very stubborn and you have to stay on it, especially coarse hair wavers. Now once you get done with that, you're going to examine yourself. If your hair is looking good to you, you can do-rag back up. If it's not, go to the comb go back to the brush, do it all over again until you do not see as many forks as you did before you do-rag up. And I guarantee you, every time you do this procedure, you will have less and less forks and more ropes. Well, I hope y'all learned something. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks. You're welcome. And stay wavy. You can do it. Walker's Way.